Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves one that I'm very excited for today, as it is the two best bots gonna be taking each other on. And it could be a little spicy, as we've got Eris in the bottom right, the best bot, and happening to play Zerg. Incredibly well refined. Now taking on Eris is a bit of a loose cannon. It is going to be Xena, the random aggressive cheesy bot, going to be continuing on its streak here of early aggression. Very interesting approach as far as it comes to programming a bot. You can program a bot that macros like Eris, or you can program a bot that is cheesy 100% of the time like Xena. So we're gonna see how this game goes between these two. Before we get too far into it though, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and slap that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. Oh, and leave a comment that says more bots if you want to see more bots. I am considering looking into doing more casts of human games, just to sort of break it up a little bit, like pro games. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But of course, still gonna be bots for days on this channel. And yeah, we'll see, as we've got Xena moving out with that Overlord very quickly. Eris is sending out a scouting drone to check for proxies. That's something that Eris does seemingly regardless of the matchup. And eventually its Overlord's gonna look for that natural base and see a lack of it, as it's just, as Xena said in chat, a roach rush. A roach burrow, it would appear, and that is going to be a very tricky rush for Eris to deal with. It'll need a lair or a spore crawler to see these roaches and kill them, most likely. And Eris is going for a fast third base, so how is it going to scout this? How is it going to react to it? Now, the other question is whether Xena is going to be aggressive enough to potentially win the game with a push like this. The very fast burrowed roach could be a really strong attack here, because I mean the roaches can just burrow and heal. Looks like Eris has reacted to this upon that Overlord seeing the roaches. We immediately see its own roach warren, a spine crawler going up, and then getting burrow of its own. So I guess just gonna fight burrowed roach with burrowed roach. This is a big commitment from Xena, as it's on 2 bases. And, well, it's not even on 2 bases. It's on a base and a half, whereas Eris did cancel its third base upon scouting that aggression. Absolutely the right call. You can't really hold 1 base Zerg aggression on 3 bases as Zerg, no matter how good the bot is or how good you are. We see this one roach trying to bypass the spine crawler. It successfully does so. Just completely runs right on by there. So it does seem to have this rush incredibly finely programmed in order to avoid that spine crawler. But now we see a spore crawler on the way. These 2 roaches are just dancing in front of the spine, afraid of it, as yeah, Xena is not having a lot of success here. It's got more roaches on the way out, but now Eris is producing its own roaches. It's going to have its own roach burrow, and once its own roach burrow is done, I feel that it should be fine. We see this roach running back and forth, not really getting anything done at all. It promptly burrows. We see the burrowed roaches for Xena on Eris' side of the map, getting some shots off on a queen, but there's the spore there, so the roaches will not survive an engagement, as that spore provides vision, so they cannot burrow. And this one roach is going to try and make it into the main base, promptly burrows, stays alive, avoiding that spore crawler. As Xena says, je suis français. But yeah, it's not gone too well for Xena. It did not get the damage done that it needed. Eris's reaction going for the spine crawler very quickly was great. If those other roaches had gone into the natural, potentially more damage could have got done, but they halted by that spine crawler instead of trying to run by it, as a human player might do, or would have been the logical decision. Of course, that's incredibly difficult to program. We do see some of that behavior here with this one roach on the outskirts, harassing, burrowing, harassing. Probably not going to die for a long time in this game until there's a lair. It's getting some shots by a queen, promptly burrows. And yeah, Eris is macroing up, getting that third base on the way. Now Xena has got to play a macro game. We'll see what the follow-up is behind this, if it's just going to keep making more roaches, as there's no doubt about it that Eris is the bot that has that has the better macro game. We're gonna see Xena going in for an attack now, however. Queen gonna kill an Overlord, potentially at a critical time. Supply block, not a total block, but does force another Overlord to be built before more units. We see currently the attack is moving out 19 roaches to 9. However, there's 5 queens, there's the spine crawler and the spore for Eris to defend, so I'm not too worried about it. I think the play here for Xena would be if it attacks the third base. It doesn't know there's a third, though, and it specifically said attacking the natural. We see beautifully placed corrosive biles delete 3 of those roaches like it was nothing. Man, those corrosive biles from Eris were huge. We saw a bit of a split for Xena, but it was totally wrong there, as Eris just deleted those roaches. I don't think I've ever seen like 3 roaches get deleted by like 4 corrosive biles at once in such a clean manner. That was incredible. And now Xena is in a really rough spot. It's making some roaches, making some drones, but I doubt it's going to have a big macro plan. Whereas Eris, we are already seeing it's made Ravagers. It's getting later. It's at least able to make those. It's now getting up another Spore Crawler. This one roach in the main is going to be in a bit of trouble. Staying alive for now. It's in a very risky spot, though, this fella. He's hanging on, and has Eris lost a single unit? It's lost 4 lings and 2 overlords to 6 roaches. It does have that third base done now. And yeah, I'm not sure how Xena is going to win this game. Of course, it's just going to keep building more and more roaches. Sometimes that strategy does work, where your opponent shifts gears in a game of StarCraft 2, elects to macro, but if Xena goes in for another attack, I don't think it's going to have success. If it's going to win this game, it's going to be because Eris moves out, overcommits, and then Xena is able to swing the scales in its favor. So we're just seeing that more and more roaches being made. Eventually, Xena may reach 200 roach supply. Eris now getting up a lair, getting up an Evo chamber. Lots and lots of drones behind this. So there is the potential for an attack to work. We got 39 drones going up against, or 39 roaches going up against 21 roaches, 5 Ravagers and 8 Queens. We'll see if something can happen, how good the micro is going to be between these two, how good are the corrosive biles going to be this time around. I think that'll let us know pretty quickly how this fight's going to go if Xena successfully dodges the biles. If not, however, there's going to be big trouble. We see roaches moving on in. There is a dodge that time around, so that was much better for Xena. It's now attacking on in. A big engagement. Roaches burrowing on both sides. There's no detection for Xena. It's got a beautiful concave against Eris's army. It's catching some of those units as they pop out at the third. Drone mining has been interrupted. Queens are on the front lines. They're taking a lot of heat, dropping transfuses. They can't really burrow in time to avoid that damage. And this is a strong attack from Xena, currently up 40 supply. Are roaches of Eris dying? Yes, they are. There's that much damage for Xena that Eris's roaches are not all burrowing in time. There's lots of burrowed roaches for Eris, but many are dying. That is true. And oh my gosh, has Xena actually broken through here? Almost all of the army of Eris is burrowed right now, and as soon as they pop up, they're just going to take more damage. So that's a bit of a snowball effect, though. Even though the units aren't necessarily dying 100% of the time, they're not doing anything sitting under the ground. It looks like the natural's been broken. The third base is saved for now, but this is a lot of damage. We see Xena attacking the 5th base, which is actually the 3rd, interestingly enough, but it straight up just killed the natural of Eris. And my gosh, did it make that attack work? Did the old just don't stop building roaches strategy work? I thought that after that first defense, Eris would have been fine, but no. The attack from Xena was really strong. The micro there worked out well, even though that there was roaches in burrow for Eris. It just didn't work out. And now that third base is dead, the main is under threat. The supply isn't too far from each other, but like the army of Eris is split up at this point, and Xena's got the bulk. And yeah, I think that's got to be it for this game. Wow, I thought that was just going to be Xena having a failed follow-up attack, but no, that was really strong. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this one, hit that like button. I know you may be saying that it's 115 to 130 supplies are close, but they are not that close, that's for sure. Xena saying that didn't work. I get the feeling that it kind of did, Xena. You just killed off the last hatchery. So the last hatchery is now dead for Eris. Actually, pardon me, it's building another one, but 4 lings attack, cancel it, and there is now not enough resources for Eris to build a new hatchery. And so Eris has unburrowed here. with its roaches, it's been able to group them up. So there is the potential here for Eris to, to kill Xena's army, but it's gonna require a lot of work, and it's gonna need to like kill Xena's army right away, move across the map, and win the game. And I'm just not sure if that's gonna happen, as roaches are still dying on Eris' side of the map. The micro from Xena is fantastic, forming a concave as Eris attacks on in. Beautiful micro there on all those roaches, maximizing their firepower and minimizing the damage. So really well done by Xena, showing us why it is such a high-ranked bot, even taking down the highest-ranked bot in this game. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this one, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not. I almost want to go back and watch that fight at the Natural again, but I suppose you guys can just rewind the video, as yeah, that was phenomenal. What a great game this was. And the reason why I decided to cast this match between these two, those of you that may recall a video I put out maybe like a couple weeks or a month ago, Xena had a total failed rush against Eris playing Protoss, but Xena is a multi-race bot, and so some strategies are going to be better than others, whereas some, of course, Eris will be able to defend against, some of them it won't. And so I'm definitely going to cast a couple more Xena versus Eris games as we watch this game of whack-a-mole go on, but now Xena is on 4 or 5 bases. Eris has no economy. It cannot mine. It is just waiting to perish here. What buildings does Eris even have left? Ah, the one Spore Crawler. Keeping Eris in this game, as Xena will slowly clean this up. Very slowly, but that is going to be that. As I guess something did kill the Spore Crawler. Ah, yes, the Hydra's got it. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. I will see you next time.